question that came to us from Reddit.
Oh, right.
It's a good question, and we'll talk about it. So that's going to be later.
We're listening in.
Okay. What else did we talk about? We talked about the Bullet Brawl. We talked about...
I just got here.
We talked about... Did we talk about Lede Haiti, the fundraiser? That was a big thing that happened. There was a lot of things that happened in June.
You could summarize what you talked about so far.
We had... One of the best things about the Chess Kid Cup was actually the contest we did for kids to draw pictures of their favorite players, and some of them actually, gave us kind of reactions to the kid drawings that they did. I actually haven't watched this, so maybe it was watching right now. Can they hear this?
And we had kids from across the world sending.
Can fans hear this?
Drawings of all the players participating in Chess Kid Cup, and we've got one for you.
I saw these last night, and I couldn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes straight. I was cracking up. Mine is great. I do want to meet the kid who drew that, because
it's pretty lifelike.
Future, or she has a real future in being an artist.
I was actually.
And hospitals in chess.
They actually win a 1-year Chess Kid membership, so that's also good news there, Fabi. We'll have that drawing sent to you for sure.
That was good stuff. It was pretty lifelike, I'm not going to lie, right? Obviously Fabi found it funny, but that was a pretty good picture. There were others. There was a great one, the person who did Hikaru, I don't know if we ever had a video on that. I think Hikaru and Fabi's were both very good. I did see the Hikaru one. All right. But anyway, so that was a lot of fun. Fun contest. Chess Kid with the heart. Agreed. Chess Kid Espanol there. And okay, we're going to talk about some of the other things going on with Chess Kid later. One of our special guests is one of the new leaders of Chess Kid, so we're going to be joined by her in a little bit. So we'll talk about this Bolivia Chess Nation event and some other stuff in a little bit, but that's a little teaser. Don't go anywhere for that. And yeah, what else? Chessable 3.0 was launched, which a lot of that I think it came with a redesign. Let's check it out. Let's go to Chessable. And there you go. This is different, right? If anyone saw Chessable before, we had a frowning Magnus, right? We had model Magnus. He was sort of stoic, leaning up against a wall. It's not every day you get a smiling Magnus Carlsen randomly popping up on your screen, right? You get long-haired Magnus Carlsen.
This is a really interesting puzzle.
Who took my cookies, Magnus Carlsen, because he's focused and about to kill someone on the chessboard. But you don't get smiling Magnus every day. So shout out to that. Shout out to Smiling Magnus.
Yeah,
there we
I don't
go.
know
We've
what
got
to
some
do
other.
there.
We got some. Okay, this is.
Apparently, I'm missing something easy.
Yeah. I guess they're like, hey Dan, where you been? You haven't seen the new redesign? This has been live for a month. Okay, I hear you. We got a Gotham chess course. I think I have a premium Chessable account that maybe I could just log into. Maybe we just turn this whole show into checking out Chessable. Okay, we got Endgame. Okay, strategy, tactics. I'm liking it. This is friendlier than we had. This is a friendlier experience, because I think a lot of times, even if we know that there's great material, the question we ask is like, well, what's for me, right? What do I need? And I think that as we work on Chessable going forward, the next question is not just like, what type of content is it, but is it appropriate for my level, right? And I think the first thing to solve for someone is like, hey, I'm a beginner chess player looking to learn about openings, right? And if I'm that person, where do I find that? Like, what's taking me to that, right? So I think that's a big thing we're continuing to work on. But this is amazing. I actually feel like this is pretty clear here. I like the basic how Chessable works. Have anybody here ever checked out Chessable Classroom? Any feedback on that? Yeah, in chat. Yeah, I'm saying that as if I've already gotten it in real time. Yeah. Okay, good feedback there. Yeah. Okay, good comment. Haven't seen any comments yet, but if you have any, go ahead and give them. And okay, this has been
alright. Me and Danny Rensch apparently think alike. I've already done that.
The fact that Chessable now has the ability for you to download your courses and learn in offline mode, that's pretty badass, right? I mean, pretty much the only thing you can do on Chess.com's app in offline mode is play the bots, right? That makes you feel good. And so this is a pretty cool thing. If you're a motivated learner out there, which we should emphasize, a motivated learner, the whole chess punks movement is not just people that are serious tournament players, right? I think a lot of people enter chess with different different expectations for themselves, right? We learned that during the Queen's Gambit, and we shared that one of the most interesting anecdotes from the Queen's Gambit cohort, if you will, to speak business terms of the audience that you're onboarding. The Queen's Gambit cohort, what we learned was one of the most motivated cohorts to get better. Like if you look at the most popular search terms for chess, historically it's play chess for free. Like how can I play chess? Like, you know, best chess app or whatever. The search terms that really exploded during the Queen's Gambit
Oh, I see.
were
The
things
rook.
like how to get better at chess, like chess lessons, like learn chess, right? And it was a really interesting experience in that. And so we saw a very engaged audience, even if they were brand new to the game. Like Beth Harmon inspired people to get better, right? So anyway, I think that seeing if you're a motivated learner, right, regardless of what level of chess you're at, I think that's a pretty cool feature to have. So I know I'm getting a little bit off track here, and we're going to move back to the last thing we do in our product segment. Every time we do it every time. 14 title players.
You should totally
It's a go-to
summarize at
feature,
the
Chad, I
end.
should mention, how about a quiz that recommends you a chessable course? That's a phenomenal feature idea. A quiz that you take, and at the end of it, we collect that, you know, your answers, and then it recommends a course. We gotta note that down. Like, that's a legit one. Someone please take to #Chessable marketing channel. We got a lot of channels for Chessable here on our Slack. Let's take it there. That's a phenomenal idea. That's like, and that's actually a pretty easy one probably for us to do, because we can even just throw up a Google form, you know, give it to our most engaged users, which many of you are here, right? Because by definition, you wouldn't be wasting your time watching this guy talk, right? This guy's talking out of his ass for 3 hours on a freaking Thursday morning. What the hell are you doing here, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? So you're only here because you really love chess and you care about the community. So you are the audience for that, and we're gonna give you what you want. That's a great idea. I don't know who that user was. Let's get him a diamond membership too. Get him a diamond membership. First diamond membership giveaway of the day. We're gonna go to a break here. I want to let you know that we do have. Oh wait, we went back to our fair play title player. I think I already gave enough rants on this, on the title players being that we're catching and those admitting or not. It is always also hard to see hundreds of thousands of accounts closed, but you know, when you have millions and millions of daily active users and signups, this is we're going to talk to a guy who's going to talk to us about how we're going to scale chess and how we're going to keep up with the growth of the game in a little bit. On that note, let's just take it to a break and say that we are about to be joined by Colsum, head of ChessKid. We're about to be joined by Josh Levine, our CTO. We're going to touch base with both of them on some other big things going on. Continue to take your questions from chat and have a great time today. Hope you are all enjoying it. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back on the other side of the break, and the stateofchess.com will return.
Well, what is this stateofchess.com?
What's the best way to follow any chess event, from the Champions Chess Tour to the Candidates, Speed Chess Championship, Title Tuesday, FIDE World Championship, and so much more? Chess.com/events has all of the top chess tournaments played both over the board and online. Analyze and review games from the world's greatest players with live commentary, cloud analysis, opening explorer, and table bases. Find all the key event information, including schedules, prizes, results, news reports, player bios, tie breaks, and more. Even compete by voting for your predicted results. Explore chess.com/events today on web or with our iOS and Android apps and experience chess like never before.
Have a friend or family member who loves chess? Give them a chess.com membership today and see them take their game to the next level. You can choose a gold, platinum, or diamond membership for 1 month or 1 year. Want your gift to arrive on your friend's birthday or on a holiday? Gifts can be scheduled to arrive up to 90 days in the future. All premium plans include an ad-free experience, unlimited puzzles and lessons, and unlock all bots. Go platinum to add unlimited game review, or diamond to unlock insights and coach explanations. Give the gift of chess today.
Have you come to play? Pay your $5 and get in the chair. How are you? My name is Jude Akers. Chess has given me a
Oh,
life, and
I really
chess
like this ad. This is cool.
evolved to a place where no one wanted to be. Has totally given me
Happy to rewatch
You
this
might
one.
cry about all the things that happened to me as a kid. Don't cry. I sailed through everything. The moment I found the first book of chess by Joseph Fleming, I was gone. And I bought a plastic chess set in a drugstore. ESLO company with a little manual by Frank J. Marshall, the legendary grandmaster. I put it on my bedspread and it gave off rays. I was gone pecan. And it literally will keep you alive if nothing else is going right. Chess has the power to, literally, as Taraj said, make people happy.
Not really liking some of my options there. Might just go back. Capture first, then go back. And they'll force another fork on me. Let's see. That also didn't seem to be... Oh, okay, no, sorry. I actually watched a YouTube video on him, and I was confusing the two. I want to do something extravagant here. Like, something that's gonna win, you know? Just, like, find that right move, the right idea. Wondering, like, if I move, they'll take, and then this bishop will need to go somewhere, come back, I suppose. And then that cuts off the side of the rook there. If I do that, then, you know, the queen has sight of that square, so I could give him another threat that way. So maybe... But then the knight will be there too, just, well, also no, because the knight will be protected by the bishop so long as the bishop stays where it's at. Let's see. So that needs to stay like that. This will come, oh yeah, okay. I guess that'll be a double threat when I do that. Yeah. I think I should probably take that one. Let the pawn capture back that way.
Hey, everyone. We are back here at the State of Chess continues here in this quarter 2 or quarter 3 edition. I don't even know what edition this is, but it's the next edition where we connect with you, the community. Again, if you missed it, we've been posting things in the previous week on Twitter, on Reddit, and various other platforms, Discord, of course, for you to give some questions. And we're going to be bringing those up in a little bit. We will have a community AMA question at the end of the day, so don't go anywhere. There's some big questions, some big feelings, a lot of tough ones. We're going to dive into all of them with no fear. But for now, we're going to be joined by a guy who has no fear. His name is Josh Levine. He is the Chess.com Chief Technical Officer, the CTO, if you will, and he's here with us. Josh, thanks so much for being here. It's been a minute since you were on the State of Chess.com. We should tell the story of why you were in person last time, when we have a second for Coco.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I'm hoping to shed some light on the chess boom and how many servers and everything else that's going on. So what are you thinking, Danny? What do you want to talk about?
Okay, let's tell the funny story of the first time you were on the stateofchess.com. And it was, so here's, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. I'm going to do it. Because we reached out to Josh, who was our CTO then, notwithstanding, he's still our CTO now. And we were like, hey, Josh, like, do you want to be on the State of Chess? And Josh was like, yeah, right? So we just figured he was going to be a guest. And then literally, like, unbeknownst to us, like, Josh, like, literally flies in to our studio in person, like, on the day of State of Chess. And everyone was like, I mean, obviously you would reach out to some people for some meetings, but when people asked you, like, hey, what are you here for? You're like, I'm here to be on the show. Like you were there to be in person on the show. Like, we hadn't communicated remotely, or you just assumed that that's what it meant and bought your plane ticket and came, right? Isn't that right?
Indeed. I figured it would be better sitting next to you, you know, to answer the questions. And we had just launched Game Review, I think, and we were going through how that worked and other things like that. And I just thought
I think it was Insight.
we needed to, and I just, well, you were giving me good instructions about how to sit properly on the couch and everything else like that, because, you know, you're the magnificent chess personality, and I'm like,
I'm the guy who knows how to sit on the couch. That's who I am. I'm the guy who knows how to sit on the couch.
But I showed up in person as a surprise, and it was wonderful. I mean, everybody treated me kindly, and the producers were amazing. You were very gracious, and you know, it was wonderful out there, and we got to talk a lot about stuff.
And you got to sit on the couch that would become well known as the Sofa Boy couch for the FIDE World Championship coverage in 2021 with me and Fabi and Hess. You were the first person to sit on that couch, as we had literally just got the studio done before the world knew that we were going to host the show on the couch, and there you were. So, all right, man. I know you didn't come here to talk about this. You're actually someone who I think, when we talk about this show, it's about engaging with the community. Sometimes it's about facing the music when there's big things going on in chess and the community wants to voice their opinion, and for us to do everything we can to be transparent, open up, hear it, give all the feedback and honest, you know, kind of answers we can about how and why big things happen. So I've prefaced it enough to set the table with, you've been someone dealing with maybe bigger things over the last few months than anybody at our company in regards to what's happened with our servers, what's happened with the scale of the chess boom. And you even did a Reddit AMA on it, right, where you jumped in and really dealt with some hard-hitting questions from some very tech-savvy individuals, right? And so let me just ask you, how are you doing with the stress of it all? Where are we at right now in regards to like chess.com server infrastructure? If you could do your best to give a high-level update on what chess.com has been doing to invest in stabilizing the chess boom.
Yeah, well, thanks for asking after me personally. Right now, I'm at a beach in North Carolina with my family on an annual vacation, so I'm, you know, in a way relaxing, which is great. But I'm supported by a fantastic team. You know, we have just over 200 engineers working on chess together, and we couldn't do it without all of y'all. And you know, saving the days, many days in January and February when just the water level of interest was rising. You know, week after week, we just saw so much more new accounts, people playing live chess against one another, and you know, commenting on forums and everything. Was just every bit of our infrastructure was creaking like an old Spanish galleon, and we're there just trying to carry the gold. You know, we're there just trying to support chess and grow with it as best as we can. You know, and I think the stress of it all kind of fades away when you're trying to run production operations, when you're trying to organize your team to build the best software that we can to make it scale, as just so many new users are coming in and looking after this beautiful game. So we've got this set of numbers that I could share around what we've done since January to try to beef up you know, our ability to scale with chess. And it's like, it's over 100 new servers, it's over 13,000 new cores, 36 terabytes of additional RAM, and over 2 petabytes of storage landing in our multiple data centers across the United States. You know, in order to grow along with the interest in this game. And not only are we pouring more cement into the foundation here, you can see on the screen, and you can imagine how that, what kind of operations it would take to land all of that, configure it, and have it, running for all of our users. But we also have to understand how to architect the application. Can I say that? We got to architect the application in a way to utilize all of this additional capacity. And not only are we running in data centers, we're also running in. We actually have services in all the clouds, but primarily we got GCP, we got AWS, and we've got Azure, and we dynamically spill workloads now into those different services as the needs arise. And chess has this really interesting usage pattern where people mostly they play more often during the week, surprisingly enough.
Should have protected the
so
bishop.
we're trying to rise.
They're in their cubicle. They're in their cubicle playing chess instead
Should have protected
instead of
the
what they should
bishop.
be doing. I'm just calling them out. I'm just being real about it. But go ahead.
Hey, Danny, I play bug during work, man. I do.
Okay, I can
play
protect the
Bug House during
bishop.
work. Forgive me, all my partners
Okay.
who have failed you.
Lucky
Bug House.
for you. That's just
Just
quality
sack the
analysis.
bishop.
That's just you testing, right? That's just you doing your job.
Also thinking
But if you
there.
guys don't know this, Josh Levine is obsessed with Bughouse. If you're ever looking for a game, this guy is probably one of the people in there in the pool.
No,
I know
don't do that. Maybe I'll
Doubles
go
Chess Bughouse
here.
Maybe it's a variant that even some people watching are like.
Also
what
fine
are you
where
talking
I'm
about?
at.
But
I
it's
don't
pretty
know.
awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I appreciate
here,
that.
maybe.
And, just a shout out to all the Bughouse players. My daughter loves Bughouse as well. It's a great game because you can get checkmate without even really doing that much effort. Because your partner gets you a queen and then you're just gonna go to town with that. So I really just love the dynamicism of it. Is that
I
a word?
see.
Dynamics.
Yeah, dynamicism. I learned that Discordianism is a word. Discordianism is also a word, by the way.
That was the metaphysical.
It's a state of.
facing. Yeah.
Was like the believing in the illusion between order and disorder, right? It's all just sort of like your own perspective of whether it's chaos or not, which I think is next level mindfulness. But that's next level unlockage, final boss.
I think that's also, Danny. That's also software engineering. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You just have to craft this mindset of what the code is going to do, and then you put it out there, and hopefully, people are playing chess games. That would be good.
Or order of chaos. Okay. I want to bring up your Reddit AMA, and I don't want the show to get necessarily too technical, but I would like to double click on at least one comment you made while here, because I think it's a comment that has been made when we are facing criticism at times for our servers not being able to keep up, right? And being overloaded for whatever the case may be, whether it's, as you said, peak traffic, when probably the worst time for the events team to have scheduled now the most popular event in the world, 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, is when we schedule it, right? It's like literally the peak time where everybody's, I'm just sharing behind the scenes, Josh has been like, hey, that Title Tuesday is literally running at like peak global chess time around the world on a Tuesday mid-morning. And so, unfortunately, that was bad timing by us. But okay, no, too late to change it now. It's literally called Title Tuesday. But we've had a lot of conversations, Josh, about dealing with the scale, dealing with the influx. Obviously, regardless of the causes for it, we're not here to talk about the Mittens chess boom or Ronaldo Messi playing chess. I want to ask about the tech, because a lot of people make comments about just go to the cloud, or just buy this, or just do that. But you kind of touched on a sliver of why we actually are using a number of different tools, and without getting as technical as you are more than capable of doing, what is the layman's way to say why we use a combo of
Oh,
why we use a combo of investing heavily? We bought 103 new
I didn't
servers.
even need to.
Why did we scale in other moments and execute with some cloud, some cloud support? And if you can, give us maybe a quick bite on what you. By the way, I just wanted to show Josh with the picture. This was the AMA he did. This is adorable. Look at Josh. If you missed it, he did an AMA, and it was a pretty popular AMA, and I just wanted to show you there. So.
I can't do that.
What I'm asking, basically about why it's not as simple as people might think, and why we've committed to a strategy that is a little more hybrid than maybe some other people or folks might have thought we should.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of answers to that, and the super high level answer is that why rent when you can own, right? And if I'm going to run a chess engine on a computer, and it's gonna run at
dang it,
100%
that
of
was
that computer. If it
freaking
were your computer,
dumb.
the fans would be going, it would be getting warm, you know, maybe even hot. You'd be using a lot of electricity, you'd need some air conditioning, right? You'd probably want to have some backup computers in case it like melted down. If you want to do that, and you want to make it
Looky at
efficient,
you.
you want to own those
You're
computers.
so precious.
You don't want to be renting them from Google or Amazon.
Yeah, I
who's
just
kinda
went on
charging
time.
you on the top,
Dang,
right? There's
I
that
can't believe I
aspect
got
of
the
it.
freaking
The
game
other
back to
aspect of it
neutral.
is
He
that
freaking
chess,
blundered so
beauty of
bad. Look
chess
at
is that it
that.
is
Poor
unsolved
little
and that it is
guy.
infinite. That is what attracted it to me when I
I'm
was
just
young. I
being
was like, this is a problem
a
that
jerk, I
not
guess.
like,
I don't know.
No offense to anybody
I'm
who
sorry, I
plays
mean no
checkers, but
actual
checkers,
offense. I'm just teasing.
solved. Chess,
So,
not
yes.
solved yet.
I'm
And
going
if you say
to
Mr. Checkers
make a
is-
quick stop.
Mr. Checkers
We're gonna
is
get right
stupid.
back at this.
Reed Pawn is awesome.
Keep
Mr.
going.
Checkers is stupid. I just want to say
We'll
that.
go to a
if Mr.
5-minute
Checkers
game
is out there
next.
listening.
Or also, I did want to check open challenges again, just to see, you know, like what's going on, what's open.
But yeah, so
There's a
with
60-minute
chess,
game.
There's some math that suggests there's not enough
That is an
atoms
option.
in the universe.
That is an option.
The universe.
I'll see
to
what's
store
here when I get
every
back.
possible chess game and solve chess. And that means you definitely can't have a hard drive big enough. And if you are trying to have a really big set of hard drives, you don't want to be renting them from someone who's charging you fees on top and who is maybe available and all these other elements that come with, cloud hosting. And so we've decided to pursue also, I'd just like to shout out again the excellence of the ChessCom engineering team and their capabilities and the way that they're able to, predict capacity and, make the site available in general, regardless of what kind of influx is coming forward. And I know we've been working on it, and I appreciate all y'all. But it's just not solvable, and when you're paying extra in the cloud, that's hard on the business, I think. So we end up going with a hybrid strategy.
Okay. And that's fair. I know you answered things in a lot more detail too on the Reddit. If anyone wants to go back to that Reddit AMA, just Google Josh Levine Reddit AMA and you can log in and see questions. By the way, someone called you the Keanu Reeves of chess tech or something in chat. I missed it, but you were compared to Keanu Reeves. You've got like a Keanu Reeves Point Break accent going. By the way, shout out to Point Break, one of the most underrated Patrick Swayze films of all time. Forget about Keanu Reeves. Patrick Swayze, R.I.P. And great film. Agreed? Right? Agreed on that.
I love that movie. I'm not sure how many R-rated movies we want to suggest. I also like Inside Out. It's a great movie.
Inside Out is an amazing movie.
Oh, the 60-minute game went away.
That's a movie like I can't watch anymore. Like it literally, like my therapist would say, we're gonna need more EMDR. That just re-traumatized your cerebral cortex. Don't watch that movie anymore. Like we're not doing that anymore. So that's why I don't watch that.
Slow down
movie.
here.
I got one more. My comfort movie. I just want to get this out there. My comfort movie.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, bro, because I'm
asleep in 5 minutes with that movie. I'm asleep for 5 minutes. Just he gets into the.
Okay, I can take that, but the problem I have with it, if we're gonna do it, is like it's actually funny because I've been criticized for it. Top Gun Maverick was the perfect sequel. Like literally, if you were like Hollywoodifying a sequel, it's exactly what you would do, right? As far as like he got older, he comes back, it's Goose's son, right? Like literally, you could imagine a guy who like got high one night and was like, "We're gonna do a Top Gun sequel, man. Like here's the deal, right? Like Maverick is older now, but wait, Goose's son is in this movie." Oh, Goose's son, of course, because Goose died, right? Because Goose died in the first one. Yeah, man, it's perfect. And Tom Cruise went back, but here's the thing: in the end, he's still the best. So he has to step in, and he still has to be the guy who saves the world. And they're like, bro, perfect sequel. Like, I was watching it the whole time and just, like, cringing at Tom Cruise writing his own, hero story.
I like the airplanes.
That's how I feel.
It was cool airplanes.
Okay.
Soundtrack was amazing.
By the way, spoiler alert, I just spoiled Top Gun Maverick. So there you go. But what you don't know in the end is whether it's a perfect ending because he dies or not. So now I haven't spoiled it. There you go.
Oh, he dies.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Snape kills Goose
Or he just like,
and
he
Dumbledore
retires
is
and then he
actually
dies or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
twist ending. Ship it. danger of having you on this show is we can basically hang out all day. Like, this show could go in and out of chess, technology, pop culture. Before you know it, you and I are going to be talking religious philosophy, like we do from time to time. So, I don't know. I think at one point I have to let you go, but maybe chat has some questions for Josh that are tech related. Maybe we can do that. Are there tech questions that we got from the community for Joshua Levine? Is anyone recall to Joshua?
My mother.
That makes sense. My mother also called me Daniel. That checks out. Okay. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to go into this master spreadsheet, which, by the way, shout out to the team. The questions are just growing. There's so much in here from Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Discord, Reddit, more Reddit, Discord, Community Club. If the team wants to throw some of the tech-savvy questions in this spreadsheet into the broadcast Slack channel, I'd appreciate that. Or I will just read some questions with it. Okay, people want to know about the Title Tuesday crash this week. I know a lot of people lost their games. By the way, every single person who lost rating points because of the server crash has been or will be given back rating points. The team was saying that we didn't want to mention how many players lost rating points because of the crash. I don't know that I agree with that because I think it actually speaks to the scale. I'm just going to say that 21,000 people lost games due to the server crash, and I actually believe it speaks to the scale and how much we're investing and how awesome our staff is to say that all 21,000 people will be getting rating points back. So I think that's actually a good thing to be proud of, not necessarily a bad thing, because the server crash was something we couldn't really do anything about. Josh, go ahead.
Oh gosh. Well, the truth of the matter is that
you can blame Rackspace on air. You can blame Rackspace.
I wasn't gonna. So the server didn't crash. Just like the human body has many chakras, technology stack had many layers, and this was a network layer issue.
Are we talking about the crown chakra, the heart chakra, like the survival chakra? Go ahead.
This was deep in the Dantian. This was an issue at the core, and basically some of our network traffic was misrouted, was misconfigured. It lasted for a very short period of time, but it definitely affected many players who were playing on chess.com at the worst possible time. And you can imagine my Slack DMs and all of us, just raging towards our computers to try to get this back online immediately. And we were able to restore service. However, it did have an impact on a number of games and a number of players. We don't like any of these events to happen. We definitely try to plan our maintenance windows and have our infrastructure operations flawless. But when we're working with multiple different independent actors, sometimes they enter and the change is made, and it can affect .com websites that need the internet.
And again, Josh is very politically correct about it. I'm here to be more transparent than I often am advised to be with all of you. I hope that's why you like the show, because that's the truth. It's not an act. I will actually say, as someone who claims and owns when it's our fault, this one was not our fault, but it doesn't matter because you're right to be mad at us because it's your chess website and it is our fault. This was not something. Again, there are many chakras in the human body. There are many layers of tech infrastructure. This one, unfortunately, was not on us. There have been others where we needed new servers. We weren't scaling properly. We needed to invest. I mean, Josh can give you a laundry list of the pain points that have cost him probably a few years on his life and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears over the last quarter. I feel like there's books we need to write about what it is to the stress that comes with those moments when the servers are crashing as an executive in a tech world. I think our human bodies were not made to do the jobs we're doing now, a 24/7 life cycle where you have to choose when to cut off your level of stress. And it's really hard. And I'm working on that all the time because it's nonstop. Anyway, sorry, that gets a little bit, again, down the philosophy lane. But that one was not our fault. We are sorry, nonetheless. Everybody who had games affected is getting rating points back. And we love you. And there's nothing else to say. So, Josh, we are okay. I think we have time for one more question. I'm going to choose this one from from chat. We've got Josh. Do you have a technical blog? That's a great question, because that would probably be a pretty popular blog if the CTO of Chess.com, by the way, one of the world's most popular companies right now, named to Time's 100 list. You know, people are into chess. If you haven't heard, we're a bit of a, in case you haven't heard, chess is kind of a big deal right now. To quote Ron Burgundy and Anchorman. Whoa, huge donation. Oh, wait, just to get a comment that the DGT boards aren't working, to Josh's attention. Josh, 2 questions. Are you maintaining a tech blog? If not, why not? Because you're kind of a big deal, Ron Burgundy. Secondly, what can you say about DGT boards to our user here?
Love it. Okay, so I have written a number of blog posts, but I just have to say the dusty tech blog that hasn't been posted to in a long time is like my worst. I don't want to be that person. So I'm trying to build up, enough content so that I could produce something where it would be interesting or, many months or etc. And I'd also like to say my personal take on engineering and technology, there would definitely be points where maybe there would be some lessons, but there would also be points where folks could disagree. But really the magic is happening inside of the engineering team at chess.com, right? So my goal would actually be to surface their brilliance and their knowledge and the things that they've done to scale. Oh gosh, MySQL, we're making that thing dance. And, so many other systems and services, I would want to hear from the team. So thank you for the prompts.
Yeah.
It's not lost on me, and look out for that. That will be that's not lost on me. Let's pivot to DGT boards. So
we've gotten a comment since then that basically is we're getting some criticism in chat about our e-board connection technology needing some work, and I can say there's a lot of priorities. But go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So connected boards are really interesting. First thing, hardware is really interesting. When you make a board and you build the circuits and you build the ROMs and you make some software inside the board, that ships out and it goes to a warehouse and then it goes to a toy store or to a online store, and then it eventually ships to a customer, and then a number of years later it's in use and it's out there, right? And when you're trying to connect a piece of software like that that's out there to a piece of software online that's being updated did multiple times every day, those things can drift out of sync. It can be a little bit difficult to maintain those contracts. And so if you have DGT, just DGT, that's great. And you can probably program for them, although they have a partner that programs their board software, and they're very much continuing to work together one-to-one. But if you have many e-boards and many digital boards that want to come out, we want to create a protocol that will last and that we can ship and that it'll always work with chess.com. Right, no matter how old that board is, or when it was purchased, or when it was sold, or whatever, right? So there's that element of the aging hardware and compatibility that you need to address. Then there's like, okay, how many people make the cool chess move when you kind of like slide forward and then you slap it down on the square, right? In an e-board world, that sends a whole bunch of signals. It's like, did you do E3 or did you do E4? Did you move your king to F1 or did you just castle? And when is the move over? And how do you interpret all of those different signals and everything else like that? And that becomes a challenge. And then when you put these boards that do that in a tournament setting, right? And bless you, tournament directors everywhere. Bless you. I know some of you, and I love you, but bless you, right? If you're the DGT operator, and you need to put in the FIDE IDs correctly, and you need to put in the names correctly with all the different characters, and you need to correct when moves are coming in incorrectly from the DGT board, etc. All of that happens before we even receive the PGN data or what is the current state of the game, right? And we have many facilities on our side and also on Chess24 side to correct for some of these anomalies that can occur, either to the digital board, the protocol between the board and the software, or the human operator, in between. And so it can be very full of anomalies, let's just say.
Yep.
And we are constantly trying to stay on top of that, and our events team is phenomenal doing that. Our events engineering team, product, and obviously the commentators and everybody else who's like living on top of this sort of technical mountain. that spans many companies, many continents, and physical wires, on the site and everything else like that. So I would just say, if chess.com were to build our own digital board, we might be able to close the loop on some of those issues. Just throwing that out there.
You would like that. I know you would like that.
Just throwing that out there.
It's here's the deal. I made a comment earlier that the world of chess is growing. The future state of the game is not going to be as the distinction and the line that used to be drawn in the sand between the online community and the over-the-board, IRL, as a lot of newcomers would say, communities, those lines are blurred more often than ever, not just at top-level events. We talked about the OES, the Olympic Esports Series, and the expectations of people with their smart board at home. I've seen comments about the Chess Hub. You've got the Millennium board. You've got DGT, right? And even in every one of those, as you pointed, has their own proprietary type of firmware where the physical world meets the software world, and if you do it weird, it's hard. So the idea that maybe having a board that we built that was perfectly integrated with the type of technology we would like to receive is probably not out of the question. That said, that's a 2029 roadmap idea, right? That's like as Eric does to me whenever I ask a feature request, and he says, that's a great idea, not a priority for the next 5 years, right? And there are just so you guys know, that's not just punting on a thing. There are literal things we've launched this last year or in the last 18 months that were ideas we had like 10 freaking years ago, right? I mean, that's the truth, right? And so because chess is so big and so vast and there's so many things, that's not just a way to punt on a thing. So a chess.com board would be sick. There's also the idea, why aren't we in that space? Because we're trying to let all the other partners in that space do their best to provide. I mean, ChessUp, DGT, all those partners are invested in trying to create this awesome experience, and we're kind of not really involved in that space. But there is a place we have, especially when the user expectation kind of blames us for any problems that might be coming, right? And so we get that, and we are aware of it, and I think we hear you. We validate that your feelings are there, chat, and we're going to continue to do our best on that.
A neat attacking
Josh,
idea, but
it's time to let you go.
they have proven me otherwise.
Not because I don't love you, not because this wasn't awesome. I mean, we got closer today, and that's the truth. And Ludwig is coming. Ludwig is around the corner. For those of you who are tuning in and wondering where is Ludwig, Ludwig is coming, and you definitely don't want to miss whatever he is these days. He's a human being. I don't know how to call him, a streamer, creator, all the things he does, a businessman. So don't go anywhere for the mogul guy, Ludwig, to be here. But before that, we're gonna let Josh go and be joined by another special guest. So Josh, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks so much, Danny. It's great being on the show.
Much love. See you later. All right. That was Josh Levine. Wow, Danny is merciless, chat says. I don't know what I was merciless about. Danny, is VR coming soon? Speaking of another technology that people want, right? VR, augmented reality, put it on the 2031 roadmap. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, imagine there's virtual reality. I mean, you've seen it in shows. You can imagine Harry Potter, Wizard's Chess, stuff like that. I mean, honestly, the imagination is the limit here. In a virtual reality.
When all of us are dead, right? So assuming the world
I'm just
is
gonna
here.
Pause it real quick. In a virtual reality chess environment, man, what would I do? Holy crap! I mean, first and foremost, I would definitely be having a game of Wizard's Chess. I want to actually see things like that, variations of that, different themes. It doesn't have to just be witches and wizards and stuff like that. You could do, you can go Twilight about it and do vampires and werewolves, or that's not even just a Twilight thing either. But man, the possibilities are endless. You could make it medieval themed, Egyptian themed. You can make it if you're into history, you can make it World War II and stuff like that. You could just do whatever you want. Anybody who's seen this video is a few years old, but during the 2020 presidential election thing or something like that, they made this little parody video on YouTube of let's see, Just trying to give this a little thought, sorry. It was like a presidential election, what is it? Battle of the Parties or something. I don't remember what it was called. But, you know, it was basically a chessboard with, like, the, you know, the pieces and everything. And Donald Trump, I think, was the king on one side. And the other side had 2 empty thrones. I don't know. Maybe it just had a bunch of pieces. Because it seems like some of the pieces that it talked about were, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to remember to link it in the video's description or something. If I can also find it. I don't know what to do in this particular position. Certainly don't want to let the bishop fall. I am living la vida loca. I don't know. What if I just kind of tuck my bishop back? You know. What if I go here with my knight? What if I see what they do after? Checks, captures, threats. I'm looking pretty safe for my own checks, and I can't really put any checks on them. Captures, they can capture the knight, I'll capture back with the queen. They can capture my pawn with their bishop, but I'll capture their bishop with probably a rook. The F rook. Well, yeah, the F rook, and then when their rook takes, then my queen can capture. So there's some capture possibilities, just to kind of highlight them on the board. You know, here's one of them. Here's another color with a, oh, sorry. So like if they, you know, take this, and I'd take that, and they'd take this, so I would have to take that. So the queen can't do both. So if I am forced to this square, then that knight does fall, and that knight is completely, or that pawn is completely vulnerable. I'd have to, you know, the pawn and that knight for that matter. So that's some stuff that I'm kind of looking at here, tactic-wise. 2 different ideas, putting them together, adding stress to my queen. You know, that's... Let's see... And they missed it! So, we can definitely continue with our idea, bringing our knight even just to a safer location now, so, you know, that this tactics, you know, it's just completely gone. You know, you can see, I think that's a good visual representation, and I did that totally by accident. The rook is disconnected from this possibility. Boo! 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 Like literally forcing me to this square. That's the thing about knight checks. It's like you can't block a knight. You can only capture. And if you can't capture, then there is no block. Okay, so I definitely want to take with that. Okay, yeah, so they wanted to hop away from that. That gives my rook the opportunity to slide out of there. I can slide up or slide to the e-file. So, you know, slide up a rank. Okay, So this idea seems to just still be on my mind for some reason. So they capture there. I'll probably capture... I mean, at this point, now I can capture with the knight, but then that allows the queen to come back. So even if we just say we still capture with the rook capture... Oh, that was the wrong click. So boom, 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 and then boom, because the queen can still do that. And that puts their knight under threat. I don't know what they're planning here. That is free. It's kind of a neat discovered check. Kinda. Oop, and now that tactic has gone away. This absolutely favors them. Let's say they capture back first. I would be forced to capture with the rook. They capture with their rook. I'd take back. It'd be a trade. Can hide behind it now. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. I think if they capture with the bishop, I might just back up with the intention of getting my bishop out there. Ooh, but I also do not like that, you guys. That is not good. This looks totally not cool. Yes. No. But yes. But no. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I don't know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you guys. Oh, boo. Boo, I missed it. Ah, boo. Alright, now we got the black pieces and I didn't even have time to analyze that game. Great! Oh, sorry. Let's continue listening to what's going on here.
Chess.com, the game of chess, and everything that we're doing has real legacy and impact, especially if you tend to believe what I believe, which is chess makes the world a smarter place, and that's not a bad thing. So let's continue to grow the game of chess. So what I'm saying is it's not totally fair to you when you make a request of something that might be near and dear to you for me to say, put it on the 2031 roadmap. But to be fair, Chess.com will probably be here in 2031 and in 2041 and in 2051 and beyond that. And so we're doing our best to navigate big requests with big feelings. And yeah, Chess.com will survive, right? Danny versus Zuckerberg fight wins. So first of all, I would throw down against Zuckerberg in a form of combat where my head was not on the line. If you're out there, Zuck, what does that look like to you? Let's figure it out. Also, Eric, if you didn't follow social media this week, Eric posted a direct challenge, CEO to CEO. You know, I believe that the banter between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, without sharing information I shouldn't share, I believe that is not fake. And I believe there is a genuine event potentially coming between those two guys. We'll see. But I think that might actually be a real thing. So Zuckerberg might be busy. I think you would bet on me. I think I would take Zuckerberg. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'd take Zuckerberg. Like what do you say? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one day. Certainly in chess, anything. I think I could. But maybe not. You're like, no, dude, he would choke you out in a jiu-jitsu Brazilian hold in 3 seconds, dude. Like, probably that's true. Like, probably he would kill me. And so I don't want to fight Zuckerberg. Any Hooters. We're getting ready for another guest here, which is why I'm having fun engaging with chat. We're not going to take a break. Just so you know, you're like, oh, is this when we're preparing to take a break? No, we're not. We're going to be joined by another amazing guest here in just a few moments. What did Will Whalen say? Didn't Elon's mom say no? 0% kidding. I couldn't beat Zuck at chess. It's ridiculous that you would even say that. If you want me to respect what's coming out of chat, like, please no. Please no. So, anyway, we've got a question coming in from Hayden, who's been pretty consistent about it, so I'll acknowledge he wants us to change the Chessable split for creators. That's an interesting discussion. I think that the Chessable marketplace is pretty awesome and supporting a lot of the livelihoods in the creator world, and I think it's a pretty good situation, although, again, you know, creators themselves are the reason we do it. So if and when we have conversations and we feel legitimately, after hearing also the other side of the cost and the investment that goes into maintaining that, if there's a respectful way for us to navigate a future split, believe me, we will. Also, I think the Chessable marketplace is doing a pretty good job creating not just content for the motivated chess learner, as we said, but creating, I know what some of those creators are making, and let's just say that a lot of the creators on Chessable are doing well, and that's awesome, and that makes us pretty happy and proud, because to me, when I think about the whole cycle system of what the chess world should be, we think about a great place to play, a great place to sort of self-learn, like puzzles, game review, these things, a place to learn via content, which really has existed before the internet existed, right? Think back to like ChessBase and Pandolfini DVD VHSs, right? And the idea for that, and that's kind of like a modern version, Chessable's a modern version of that. But then there's the creator ecosystem, which to me is represented in 2 ways. One, the streamers, the program, you see them everywhere, from your Levy Rosmans to Hikaru Nakamura's to Chess Bras to Danya Naroditsky's. The idea that creators can engage with fans in real time and be supported, I think that's been a pretty awesome and successful thing, and I know many of you are subscribers and supporters of them, so thank you. And that's money that goes directly to the creators. Chess.com is not involved in that. Our job is to support them. And then the other system, which is the kind of, call it authors, right? Chessable authors, people who maybe don't want to turn on the camera and mess around, but people who want to create those courses and then have the opportunity for people to purchase them for life. And I think the Chessable ecosystem kind of completes that. And I think it's going pretty well. So I hear you, Hayden. If that's a real concern, we will always address it down the road with our creators. So I'm not shying away from that. But I think there's a lot to that before we just scream and say that something unjust is being done. I would actually disagree. I think creators are pretty happy and they're doing well. So anyway, there you go. I think we have another guest ready to join us. I think so. Let's dive right in. We are now joined by the head of ChessKid, president of ChessKid, Kulsum Qasim. And Kulsum has, I'm going to let her introduce herself in a minute and talk about how long she's been here. But Kulsum, thank you for being here, and we're super excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Danny. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. I just want to actually give a shout out to the broadcast team. This whole production is amazing. It's my first time on the show. I did not fly into the studio. However, thank you, Josh, for letting me know not to do that. But this whole thing is amazing, Danny, and I'm really excited and happy to be here.
I appreciate that, and I would also agree with you. I think the broadcast team is crushing it, and we're not just saying that because we're on camera. So shout out to everybody here who was rolling. To answer the team, I was having a little trouble hearing the cues on that, so my apologies if I waited to bring on Kulsum, our amazing guest here. And Kulsum, let's jump right in to, I would say before we talk about Chess Kid, and as I like to joke, what is it that you do here, Bob, right? When we ask everybody, what do you do? Let's talk a little bit about who you are and how you got involved in chess. Where did you come from before this opportunity to help us grow the mission of the game in the scholastic market came along? And tell the world about yourself.
Yeah, honestly, my journey to chess has been really amazing. I've had some really amazing conversations with Eric along the way for the last little while, but my background actually is in ed tech and kids ed tech to be specific. So for the last around 10 years, I've devoted my career to really making learning fun for kids. And you can probably imagine that's the thing that brought me the Chess Kid. When I found out that Chess Kid is leveraging technology
go
for
get
good.
some
It's a
cheese
safe
for
environment
these
for
chips.
kids to play in, and it's just an amazing platform. Like, if you haven't been on it, and if you haven't had your kids go on it, please check it out because
I don't
it's
have
such
kids.
a cool platform for both parents and kids. I love the fact that we're bringing the amazing game of chess to kids in a way that helps
I do love
them
that too,
learn.
though. It's awesome.
That's really my journey. I really loved working with kids in my past, and would love to continue that in the future. So here I am at Chess Kid. I've been here for about 4 months now.
Nice.
I love it.
Cool stuff.
Talk a little more about ed tech, and I think for some of the chat, like, what is that space, right? Where specifically were you involved in ed tech, and what is that kind of process these days to, I think we all care about that. I mean, we probably have some kids in chat pretending to be older than they are, violating Twitch terms of service, by the way. That's not our fault. We also probably have a lot of parents out there. But what is the gamification of the classroom movement, ed tech, and how chess aligns with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So EdTech stands for Education Technology, in case people didn't know that. And it's really taken off post-COVID, but of course before COVID, people have probably looked into online learning for their kids, additional homework practice for their kids, a lot of platforms. I've personally worked at some of the largest companies in the world in education, that being Pearson, as well as the gaming world as well. And really post-COVID, parents are looking for ways to engage kids in a fun, safe environment. So pre-COVID, it was like, oh, go do these practice lessons online, and it'll augment your learning in class. Post-COVID, learning has really changed, and we've learned so many things from research. I don't want to bore everybody with coding research, but I will mention that learning loss really starts happening after grade 3 for kids. When learning isn't interesting and when kids don't find things to be fun, you see a sharp decline in things that they retain, etc. But if you can kind of change that curve and include fun, exciting ways of learning, you can actually change the trajectory of a kid's learning, and they will remember those things for the rest of their life. Like, if you think about, Danny, even the way you learned as a child, some of probably the things that you've taken into your adult life are the things that were super fun back in the day. I can say that for myself as well. And so that is really what EdTech is trying to do. And not many companies can do it that well. I'll just say that out. Some of which I have worked for in the past. But what I love about Chess Kid and Chess.com specifically is it's like, make it fun, make it amazing, and kids are just going to be super happy in learning and developing. So I'm really a proponent of that.
That's awesome. I know we've got some topics to get into, kind of maybe double-click a little more on the, I'm using that term double-click a lot, by the way. I don't know where I got it. We're going to double-click a little more on some of the stuff you said about the ed tech, and also talk about what's next for Chess Kid. Let's talk a little bit about some of the exciting things that have been happening with Chess Kid recently. There was a partnership that we struck with the Bolivian Ministry for Chess, the Bolivian Chess Federation. What was that about, and what were some of the things to kind of highlight there?
Yeah, the team did an amazing job on kind of striking this deal. This allows over 100,000 kids in Bolivia and over 17,000 teachers in Bolivia to access Chess Kid on a daily basis, to be used within school, at home, etc. It's exactly what we're here to do at Chess Kid, is like bring the love of chess to the world and to kids early. So the team worked super hard on this. These things don't happen overnight, and so I want to recognize that. But this is just one of the ways in which we are excited to bring chess to kids globally, whether there is access issues or not. We're here to help the world, and we're here to partner with governments, associations, etc., to be able to make the love of chess come to life. So super excited. Congrats to the team if you're listening.
No, I love it. And yeah, the team who made that happen, I mean, obviously it's a huge movement. You're talking about a partnership with an entire country and, bringing more than 100,000 kids into the game. And I'm going to go off script here and just ask, why can't this happen in the U.S.?
The U.S. is really interesting. School systems, the education system is quite different. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show, actually. I'm a proud Canadian, but I know a lot about the U.S. education system. Most of my
why does it happen in Canada? I'll say even so. Shout out to Toronto. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hype up Toronto. We have not established chess or actually game-based learning. I'll just use that as a category, as a critical learning skill in the North American education system. And I think that's because a lot of the past experiences of, departments of education, we really need to bring forth the learning outcomes that come from a game like chess. For example, chess is not just a game, right? It's not just moving pieces across the board. And by the way, I'm not a pro chess player. I enjoy it thoroughly. My kids enjoy it thoroughly. But I'm not a pro, and Danny, please do not challenge me because,
I'm also not a pro chess player anymore. I'm also an amateur chess player. Go ahead.
But, there's so many things that come out of it, like critical thinking, risk analysis, things that we don't teach kids in the school systems as a subject today, however, are so critical for the jobs of tomorrow. There's been so many, again, I don't want to lean too much on research because I know that can be boring, but there's so much out there that suggests we aren't getting our kids ready for the tech world of tomorrow because we don't teach these soft skills within the school systems. And I think other countries a little bit more further advanced than maybe North America is in that area. But, anyone listening out there would love to chat about how we get chess kid into school systems more in North America because it's such a critical skill.
Yeah, and I know
awesome.
that, you obviously talked about Bolivia, but I know it's happening in other countries that maybe have a deeper cultural appreciation for the game. In Hungary, for example, obviously shout out to Judith Polgar and everything she does with the Polgar Chess Foundation. But there's a program there that literally is aligning
and
the curriculum when kids learn, 3 plus 5, they see rook plus bishop. Or the other way around, bishop plus rook in some classrooms, and just aligning it with the core curriculum at an early age. I think if we believe in the benefits of eventually diving into the game, at any kind of serious level, and what that can do for critical thinking, seems to make sense, right? Chess is a critical life skill. Noted. It is. Chess is a critical life skill. I think so. Well, it's going to become more of it. Or I think chat was trolling us a little bit. But okay, all right. We'll come back. We certainly think it is, or we wouldn't be here. And you're the one watching the show, So if you're being sarcastic, you're watching a chess show. You're basically watching a chess podcast, and which is even more next level. So, all right. Speaking of next level, Colson,
listening
Alice
to
Lee,
chess podcast being live streamed while I'm live streaming and commentating.
In the Pro Chess League, became the third youngest female IM in history. Talk a little bit about Chess Kid's relationship with Alice, just how awesome this is to see her doing what she does, and your thoughts on this achievement.
Yeah, Chess Kid has worked with Alice for quite some time now, but I just want to say 13 years old, I don't even know what I was doing at 13 years old. This is a huge accomplishment. Just shout out to Alice.
I know what I was doing. I was playing chess. Not as good as Alice Lee. That's what I was doing at 13. So.
I was definitely not playing chess and definitely not as good as Alice Lee even now at this age. But what I love about this, it's just, we were talking a little bit about women in chess earlier, Danny, and this is so amazing to see diverse women at such a young age do amazing things in this field, and I'm super excited to see what she does next. I know there was a couple of comments as well before around, bringing some of these ambassadors as bots on Chess Kid and what's coming next for Chess Kid. I think, anything is possible. We're really looking to make the platform fun and engaging for all. So people like Alice as well as beginners as well. But this is a huge accomplishment to celebrate for so many reasons why, not only because she's the youngest American-born female, the fact that she's female, the fact that she's from a diverse background, there's so many wins here for the game of chess. It's amazing.
Yeah, agreed. And it's something, Chess Kid has always been doing since the beginning of our origin, just to speak kind of, broadly on that. Long back in the day, we've always been looking at the community as far as youngsters that maybe we can support, and that's not a tooting our own horn. I'm saying it's just something that we should be doing for the future. And when you see success happening by one of the people that we happen to be working with, it's amazing. And I think Alice Lee's future is incredibly bright. Speaking of futures, let's move to that on our final note. What's next for Chess Kid? What's around the corner? We can talk. I know we're doing a lot of things, right? We don't have to get into the weeds on technology, infrastructure, and all the things we're trying to do with the sites. We know there's a lot of things, but if you want to give some high level wins or some things that we're looking to do in the next coming years. Colson? Did we lose? We lost Colson. I think we lost Colson, so we're going to continue and probably take a break, because I think right on cue it's probably time for that.
This break would be a good time for me to go make nachos.
We'll be heading to a commercial, and everyone gets to enjoy an ad. Or subscribers don't, and you'll see some content that's about to be a pretty fun conversation between Fabiano Caruana and Christian.
I do like the subscriber content.
Just shout it out. That's just the truth. We do appreciate all the subscribers. Appreciate your willingness and support to do that. If you're not into subscribing or watching an ad, throw it on mute. Leave it up. Go get yourself a snack. I recommend a banana. Great potassium.
That
really
one
keeps
right
your energy levels up, right? As you're moving forward. Definitely don't recommend Cheetos. Right? Put your shirt on. Don't wipe your own skin with Doritos or Cheetos. Come on, that's not attractive. No one wants that. So, if you are sitting alone, naked, on a beanbag chair, eating Cheetos, let's not do that. Let's get up and go get a banana at the break, but leave it up so that the ad plays, so that chess.com can collect that revenue, so that we can continue to do amazing events. We have events around the corner, and if you do want to subscribe, Fabiano and Caruana, Fabiano and Christian, roll the tape.
Alright, Danny, you talked me into it. I'll eat the banana. I won't go make nachos, even though I really want some.
So I'm going to show you some puzzles. You're going to have 10 seconds to look at the tablet, and I'm going to take the tablet away, and you're going to have to give me the solution. Okay. You ready? Sure. All right. Mate d5, white.
Okay.
You got it. All right.
Yeah. Queen g6, knight f6, bishop g7, and h7.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Good start.
Okay.
Queen g6,
yes.
Queen g6, knight e7, bishop f8, knight e5. No, wait. Where's...
If you go knight e7, I go king h8. Bishop f8, bishop h5. Yeah, that's not working out.
Okay, Queen g6 has to be the right first move.
Yes. Bishop. Knight f6,
My
bishop
turn?
7, so that's right. Yes. Very good.
That's like your ultimate clever move there.
Okay. So it's queen x g6, fg, knight e7, check, king h7 and h8, bishop f8, and then bishop h3, h5.
Avocado toast.
Wait,
Oh.
bishop h5 must be black and not bishop h3. Bishop
So
h5,
banana, honey,
and
cream
then
cheese
g5,
bagel,
king
and
h8,
everything cream
and then
cheese
knight
bagel.
h6. Is that fine food?
Nice.
So you said
And
queen
the banana
h6,
right
f h6,
97.
knight e7. Okay, it's
Yeah, I just put a
knight
banana
f6
on it.
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
a topper.
Knight f6, king
Make a couple
h8,
Oh,
poops.
then bishop f8. Yes.
bishop g7.
Jack,
Oh,
King
G7,
G7,
okay,
H7.
Watching Danny Rensch's announcement on the stateofchess.com while
H7, King H7.
in a long game.
Bishop F8. Bishop H5.
Bishop H5.
Knight G5. Wait, do I have a knight on G3? F2?
You do have a knight on that.
So knight
Yes.
G5 check. King H8. Knight G6.
Okay, so what if I go King H8 first instead of King H7? Bishop F8.
Bishop F8.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bishop H. Yeah, then Bishop H5. Then Knight G6, King H7. Yeah, that's
H7,
okay.
and I
Yeah.
pick up the knight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, good. You got good flavor to it.
I'm gonna try a bite too.
Ooh.
Cheesecakey.
Yeah. I like it.
I tried really hard to get ripen with that avocado. I got it into like the avocado spread softness here, but it just still didn't taste right.
I should have taken their queen first. I guess I just moved it right out of the way, didn't I? Boo.
She's just laying under the stairs. Yeah, come on, be dry before you gotta go to work. Try that one, tell me if you like more.
It would probably be the one I just ate, but yeah, I'll let you know.
You know, honey and plain cream cheese with a bit of banana.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back. The state of chess.com continue.
Gosh. There went the banana.
You're like such a messy eater.
I don't know. I was just tilting it too much. I'll grab it in a minute. Oh, do you see where it is?
Oh, not moving.
Okay.
Stop. There you go.
Alright. You can put it over there. Or, yeah, that works too. Thank you. Okay.
You're gonna knock my bagel out of my hand. I'm gonna have to bite your leg off.
Yeah, right, no kidding.
I'm thinking about somehow cleaning up the kitchen today.
I don't mind.
I was looking at it and I was like, it needs to be clean. And the dishes be done. I'm like, it's kind of a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna push play now. There's it's recording and stuff.
Well, once you get back from work, we'll do that.
Here today. This has been a fun day. We caught up with Josh Levine, our CTO, Kulsum Kasim. She is the head of ChessKid, president of ChessKid. Great conversations. If you missed it, back up, or someone might clip the best moments. We've had an awesome discussion with chat. I think overall, we've already gotten into some big topics, and there's plenty more ahead on that. Reminder, bring your questions specifically right now, as we're about to dive into some events-related topics. You might want to bring some questions regarding your favorite events, maybe some format ideas, some things you'd like to see, some things you don't like that you're seeing. We're going to talk about a lot of that here and get to your big questions later on. We know there's an active Reddit thread as well as Twitter. Still some comments coming in on Discord as well. So, all right. On
man.
that note, let's bring in our next guest. He
How
is not
crazy would that have been?
Ludwig, but this
Let's
guy
see here.
is actually on the video that is the most viewed video on Ludwig's YouTube channel. Did you know that about yourself, Michael Brancato?
Is that still true? Have I been dethroned yet?
It's
been a bunch of years since then.
Sorry, we're gonna have to bring up the YouTube. We bring up the YouTube real quick. Sorry, we're doing the thing we do on the show, which is having a blast being real. Let's bring it up. I'm
Having
gonna
a
do
blast
it. So,
being real.
Nintendo dude,
Yeah, let's be
Ice
real.
Climbers, Ludwig video. Okay, so this is the video.
Yeah, that's it.
This is Michael Brancato. Let's watch it and let the games begin.
Oh, this is a classic.
Look at that guy.
That's it. Yep.
Ice Climbers, yeah!
I love how much this match community is loved.
Look at that guy next to you. He's just resenting you. He just hates you.
He doesn't hate me. I mean, he doesn't hate me, but he always had a trouble with ice climbers. He just hated us.
Oh man, all right.
It's so funny.
This is so great. Okay, so we're gonna bring that to a close, or at least we'll play it in the background on mute so we can talk. Look at Michael Brancato celebrating.
Yeah.
Love that guy. All right. So, for those who don't know, Michael Brancato is a legend in the Smash community. Not just as a player using ice climbers, which was basically cheating. You know, I mean, some people didn't like you for what you were doing there. But no, kidding. And then you became an organizer. And then you were at Twitch, you and I working alongside together for what feels like a lifetime at this point with all the fun things that have happened with the chess community. And you are at chess.com now as our vice president of esports and events. That's a pretty long-winded intro. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good. I'm just happy to be on the show. There's so much going on in chess right now. It's incredibly part of it.
When you say that, it gives me stuff. Like, we're going to talk about so much going on, and we're not even allowed to talk about all the events that are going on, at least not at this exact time. So much going on. How has it been for you, for those who know you, and, you know, speaking as someone who, at Twitch, you helped oversee and grow the Chess Streamers program with myself over the last many years, which has been awesome, but you also running events called Twitch Rivals and so many cool things. Where are you at right now? I know I'm springing a big existential question on you. Are you still happy that I poached you from Twitch and brought you over here?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, the chess is amazing. And one of the things that I always tell people about, you know, working here and doing what I do is that I just love to work on a game that is such a big part of human culture, and has been around forever, and it's such a world of difference compared to what I was doing before, where sometimes with like Twitch Rivals, I'll work on games that are hot for like a week, and then they're like not a thing anymore, and it's just hard for me to derive like personal satisfaction out of that. So to be able to like have an impact that's gonna last for, you know, many generations presumably is, I don't know, brings me a lot of joy, and I just love being part of that. And there's also like there's so much to do in chess, even though it's been around for a century or, you know, multiple centuries. I feel like there's so much opportunity to, you know, keep making our events better, improve formats, give more opportunities, and improve the fan experience, like all this amazing stuff. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. For those calling me out with the HR comments in chat when your boss asks you if you're still happy, go back to work. I know both of you. Now boss is really crossing HR lines. Go back to work and stop watching shows at 11 a.m. Pacific on a Wednesday. On a third, I don't even know what day it is. Okay, just kidding. All right. But no, very eloquent answer, and I agree with you. And it's funny, man, because you and I talk about this a lot, but like, speaking even from my own personal exhaustion, it's like amazing that I've been doing this for 14 plus years, and sometimes that makes you feel like, when is the ride over? And then I take a moment and go, man, we're only just beginning. Like, it feels like chess was made for what's happening right now with technology, before we even talk about augmented virtual reality, the future state of worlds coming together. And it's like chess, yes, is a piece of human history and has been around forever. But the opportunity to do some really cool bleep is like, we're like just starting, right? And the worlds of creators and content online and the events that you can bring to life in the ways that we are. I mean, it feels like such a fun time. So thank you for sharing what you just said about why you love working here, because honestly, that resonates with me, and I think I need to hear that from time to time, to remind me that we still got a lot of fun stuff ahead, and not just to focus on people in chat who hate us or fair play scandals, All right, on to the events. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those cool things ahead. Michael, we're going to focus on chess.com's events first. We know the AIM Chess Rapid is coming, the Bullet Chess Championship. I'm going to let you do two things. Comment on how happy you are right now about the Championship Chess Tour. You've been working very closely with Arcus, who couldn't be on the show today, even though we wanted him. Arcus has been a guy who helped bring the Champions Tour to life over at the Play Magnus group, Chess 24. But how are you guys feeling about what has been the first year of us combining these two big events companies, PMG and Chess.com, and then we'll talk about the Bullet Chess Championship.
Yeah, so I feel great, and I feel really privileged to have the opportunity to oversee the Champions Chess Tour and bring, I guess, a bunch of the ideals that I like about competition to it. And one of the ones that's been the most personally rewarding for me is seeing kind of the open system kind of come to life. So for those of you who are like, what is this complicated format with like these 3 divisions and it's playing all this stuff, like you have me to blame for that. But hopefully you'll agree it's not actually that complicated. And so chess historically has been a very invite-driven game where the top tournaments are something like some organizer invites 10 top players to a round robin, and they play a round robin, and then someone won. Cool. And that's great. We love top-level chess, but there's so many players who like aren't getting those opportunities. There's hundreds of GMs in like the 2500, 2600 range who like aren't getting meaningful opportunities. And I feel like what we did with like the play-in system and having 56 players get to play in the knockout stage across their divisions, like that's totally changed that. And I had a chance to connect with some players personally in Singapore last week. I was there for the Olympic Esports Series, and I got to speak with folks like Serrana, folks like Bassem Amin, and they were very grateful. I know Serrana particularly, like he's literally the European champion. But Serrana does not get invites to big events. Yeah. But then when he did, what was the first one? Everything's Masters. Serrana qualified to Division 1.
Okay.
And then goes on to beat Ferrugia and gets 5th. And it's like, the system that we created, like, enables...
Right, I'm gonna let you guys go here for now. I'm gonna go make me some more food. Yeah. I'll let you guys go for now. Peace out.
I really want to, like, celebrate that. I just think it's such an